Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Sarah Jane from Misunderstood. Today I have Beck joining me from Adelaide, Australia, and we're going to be talking about sensory processing disorder. So let me just connect to Beck.
Hi.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about sensory processing disorder. Sensory processing difficulties were first identified by an occupational therapist in the 1970s. Now, she introduced the idea that we had information coming through 7 senses and not the 5 that people think. But also, since then, it's also been discovered that we have an 8th sense. Now, the last 3 senses are what's called as your hidden senses. That mean really it's there's certain sounds, smells, certain sights can make you become overloaded. Like you have a sensory overload,
And also you can be under responsive to those senses and actually seek stimulation of those senses as well.
yeah. So we'll take a look at sight. Now, if you're over responsive to visual input, then you'll have difficulty filtering out the visual stimuli that's coming in from your surroundings. So how do you see this? How do you see someone who is being overloaded with sights? So, perfect example, you open your wardrobe up to look for something and you can't see nothing. You can see all your clothes there, but you cannot find that one thing. And you've probably gone past it and past it. Too much, you're looking at too many things, and it's basically they're saying you can't see the wood for the trees. It's staring right in front of you, but you're overloaded. Another one is when you get mail and you open the letter and you look at it and you're like, too much information to even be able to read that letter and take in the information. So you put it down, and that's you back to your bills don't get paid. Another thing is in a school where you've got all this stuff hanging around on the walls. If a child is being visually overloaded, they can't concentrate on their work. They can't concentrate on what the teacher's saying because all these things are a bit of wind. Even the heating goes on and it moves the paper. That's it. They've lost concentration. They haven't got their work done. They don't remember what's said.
Yeah.
Another thing is when you have to look at somebody and you're talking, you know, if you notice something on their face, it could be anything, a marking of any sort, it takes your focus away. You can't look at something, you can't look at somebody and listen to what they're saying because you've now got your mind on there's something on your face. So all them are examples of being visually overloaded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can be visually under-responsive as well. So that describes me quite well. I am a very visual person. So with my photography, I'm looking at images all the time. I love light. So another thing is that you can like flickering lights and bright light.
Yeah.
I love it when the trees are moving and the sun is coming through them and it's a flickering light. I'll actually zone out and stare at that and forget what I was doing.
No, that would send me flickering lights that annoy me. I can't even watch the windscreen wipers. If they move too quick, it's like no.
Yeah. If I'm overstimulated, light can affect me as well. Like I don't like fluorescent lighting.
No.
But I like natural light.
Yeah.
And so then I'm, editing photos and little details, and so it's all visual input, definitely.
Yeah. I think that's when you're under responsive, it's hard for you to be able to concentrate because you're not stimulated enough. You're not alert enough because you're under responsive, so you need something to make you alert enough so you can take in the information of what you're supposed to be learning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another one of the senses is touch. So if you're under responsive to touch, you might not realize you've knocked yourself. You know, you might have cut yourself and you're bleeding, but you don't know. You just maybe feel the blood. You know, you just can't feel it.
Well, I've got an example of that with my daughter. So my daughter, when she was little, when she was about 3.5, she took a big fall off play gym, and didn't even cry because she didn't even feel it really.
No.
She just got up and kept going. So it's a worry because we don't know, say if she had appendicitis, we wouldn't know
till it's too late, till it's
feel
right
it.
at the end. And it could put you at risk. So if you're over responsive to touch, that can be a nightmare. Clothing, and especially a school uniform, shirt and tie, trousers. Oh no, it's that can be
that's
real.
me. I have to wear very comfortable clothing with as few seams as possible. When I was working as a nurse and I had to wear a button shirt, I hated it. It came off as soon as I got home. I hate it.
I could look at a nurse and think, wow, I could not wear that top. Just
No.
fit it. Oh.
No. And pants, the pants were always like buckle up, you know, tight as well. So yeah.
It's also a cause of certain eating disorders, and it's because they can't stand the touch of the food in their mouth. And I think when they go, these girls that, some of the girls that have got these anorexia or bulimia, people think or just assume it's they want to be this size 0 of like someone's on TV, and for some it's not about that. It's they just can't take the touch of the food, the textures of the food.
Yeah, a couple of the women that I've spoken to so far for my documentary, 2 of them have had anorexia nervosa as teenage girls, and they knew that it wasn't because of wanting to be skinny.
No.
They knew that that wasn't the reason for doing it, but they didn't know why they weren't eating properly.
And then down the line, they found out they had autism.
That's
so
right.
They are going to have sensory issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Another one, many people will recognise that child that screams in the bath. The neighbours think you're murdering them. You're probably not even touching them.
Yeah.
But they actually feel that as a pain. It is painful to them when the water is going onto their head.
Even toddlers being dressed in certain fabrics. Like, yeah, I had that when my older 2 were growing up, especially my eldest. He didn't like particular fabrics.
No, jeans, heavy materials, coats.
Yeah.
I can't, I very, very rarely wear a coat. I just, the heaviness, it's like, oh, get off me. No. Well, it's been great talking. Thank you. And we'll, same time next week.
Yep. See you then.
See you then. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
But that's it for today, and I hope you have learned something from listening to Becca and myself speaking about sight and touch. So if you want to know more on these topics, please fill in the contact form on the website or on Facebook. Give it the thumbs up below and subscribe to my channel, and most importantly, click the bell to be notified of any new videos. Thank you. Bye.